Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Golden Boot Podcast. Whew, I didn't think I was going to be able to be on here tonight. We had some major technical difficulties on my end. I had practically had to rebuild my computer. That's a lie. I did not. I had to redistribute certain things and certain outputs in the back of my computer. That's all. That's all I know. That's about as much technical knowledge as I know in a computer. So yeah, I appreciate you guys joining us. I'm joined tonight by the graphics master himself, Cody Slavinsky, aka, Jay Johnson's towel boy here pretty soon.
No, it's official. I'm back.
Oh, it's okay. It's official.
I'm
It's
back.
official. You're back. All right. I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about. I don't know if you read the description or not, but we're going to be covering. We're going to be going over the coaches carousel. We got some NFL play. Got to talk about some divisionals. And we've got, I got to know what is going on in Tuscaloosa. We're going to talk about that. Scott Stricklin to A&M. There's a rumor floating around there. And then Mike Martin. That situation is pretty tough. We'll talk a little bit about that. But and we'll touch on this too. One of the biggest surprises, Mike McCarthy is still in Dallas after that shamble of a victory, a shamble of a loss. That was quite a surprise.
Who'd they lose to?
Who'd they lose to? I'm so glad you asked. Oh, no. Nope. Hey, Andrew says the boot. Good to have you, Andrew. It's been a while, man. We need to catch up. I haven't talked to you in a minute. We've both been very busy. Where's Vandy? Well, he is under the weather tonight. He has been battling some sickness for a few days now. He has absolutely been in bed all day, most of the day yesterday and all day today. So me and Cody said, we got it. Take the time, take the day off, take the night off, rest up, whatever. We'll hit it on Monday.
But we should say he probably would have come on the show if we didn't tell him not to.
Yeah, he would have. He absolutely would have. He'd be on there coughing and puking and everything else. Probably near a toilet, hugging a toilet in the middle of the show. You never know what you're going to see on the Golden Boot.
Might see Tim Bailey in his underwear.
That's right. Cody the water squirter. Oh, Lord. That's it. Yeah, Andrew says work. They're so demanding. Huh? You want to talk crap about the CEO? Artie's coming on the show to set you straight. Hey, I mean, I might have said a few choice words.
I heard he called him some stuff that I'm not allowed to say on the show.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say it on the show. I don't know. I mean, if you want to come on and set me straight, I guess you can. Without further ado, I appreciate you guys coming in. There's a banner down at the bottom of the screen. If you've been here before, we appreciate you guys coming back so much. There would be no Golden Boot without you guys.
It's true.
But follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. We're on YouTube, Golden Media Sports Network. We even have our own email address. I would love if somebody would just say hi in an email. It would tickle my fancy. If you just send an email to the Golden Boot Podcast at gmail.com. Andrew said, I'm going to hide in the background and watch that. CEO incoming. There you go. We'll see. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully he's got some insight on some stuff. I know there's some rumors floating around. I know we'll talk about the Harbaugh situation and all of that stuff. Bill Belichick, I know he apparently interviewed for the Falcons, I believe, and it looks like it's imminent he's going to get that job.
Well, they announced today Harbaugh's got a second interview coming up. So
well, yeah, I know. It's very conflicting reports all across the board. So we'll see. But without further ado, let's get into this thing. This is the Golden Boot Podcast. Let's get into our icebreakers. Let's do this. All right, first on the list tonight. I gotta address this. Man, oh man, oh man. Do I have some Texas haters in the group here? I mean, yeah, yes, thank you. The Texas Longhorns, man. At it again. The head coach, I can't even remember his name. He's the guy that we were very surprised he was hired in the first place for the basketball program. The video, I can't show the video, obviously, for copyright reasons. But he lit into the UCF kids, quoting, "That's classless. Don't do that." Shit. Yeah. And I mean, like, was screaming in their face. I get it. I mean, don't be mad at the man for calling out the classes. I get that, but at the same time, it ain't going nowhere. It's here to stay. You beat Texas, they get a horns down. That's it. He can call it out all he wants to. It's not going to stop people from doing it, right, Cody? You agree?
It makes me want to say it more, to be honest.
Well, it definitely makes me want to. As an Arkansas fan, I want to say it all the time. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you got someone in here for you, sir.
What? Oh my goodness! Go Pack, go, says Brandon. Dude, all these Packers fans coming out of nowhere. I love it. I love it. If you can't see what color it is, because I don't have my Christmas tree on. Yes, I still have it up. Shh. But that is an Amon green jersey right there behind me.
Oh, nice.
So one of the greatest, in my opinion, he was one of the greatest running backs of me growing up. So
for sure.
Go Pack, go. We should really bring a fake trophy every time UCF plays. True. Seth, just throw that out there. I called the Green Bay upset last week. Seth, you did. And my man, I am very happy and cautious about what you're going to say this week. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to jinx anything. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But I mean, what do you guys think about this? Put in the comments what you think. I know Andrew said can't fault the man for calling out the classless. Do you think it's classless? That horns down, because they're entering it in the SEC. I think that's going to happen way more than it does right now.
Imagine their first game in the SEC playing at A&M, or going to LSU.
Their first game in Arkansas. There was 70-something thousand fans all horns down all at the same time. So
I don't even want to imagine what it'd be like in Arkansas, because that's just absurd. Well,
remember, they played there 40-20.
I'm talking about now that's like a real rivalry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
It's gonna be totally. I think it'd be worse.
It might be worse. If Hunter Yurachek is standing on the sideline doing this right here, that's pretty. That's evident. There's some hurt feelings, and all this does is fuel it for me. Mm-hmm. All this does is fuel it. I mean, yeah, it's just it's interesting. James Fender says it hurts their feelings. Andrew says Green Bay finna get a beat down this weekend. We'll see. Imagine this. They play in Nashville this year. Chris is the picture of the week, giving them the horns down. Yeah. We lose 50-0, but Chris still gives them horns down. That would be great. I'd love that. Gun Kansas isn't beating Texas this year. All right, well, there you go. Gun Kansas. I assume he means Arkansas. I have no idea, but we'll see.
I like Gun Kansas better.
Gun Kansas, boy, that's an interesting deal. I'm gonna pull yo, my man, Jack Hugh in the house. One of our loyal listeners. Yeah, hey, listen, I almost didn't get to come on. It was almost going to be the Cody show, and that would have been interesting because he doesn't like doing it by himself. So
I don't. So I'm getting to go right now.
I mean, all right, this is very interesting. I wanted to bring this up. There is talk of this actually happening. NFL enters college football business. With college football on the cusp of moving to an employment model and conference realignment, further consolidating media sports broadcast rights, there's no better time for the NFL to take an ownership stake in its primary development league. Acquiring the CFP, the NFL will be best positioned to launch a college football league, inviting the current top-tier FBS schools who have the resources and make the investment to compete nationally. The NFL can use the CFP and CFL to directly develop coaches, refs, and players, test out new rules, improve scheduling for the NFL and CFL, extend its international reach, and grow the game of football. Now, I know this is an idea, but there are those that want to secede, so to speak, from the NCAA. Is this the answer?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think.
I think it would go belly up. I don't see it. I just don't see it working. And okay, Andrew said right there, let them have D3. Agreed.
Yeah.
Something like that, sure. But my thing is this: you can't use an already established thing as a test subject.
Well, yeah, but this would not be, according to this, they would be basically creating a new NCAA.
Now, if they modified the conferences and made them go back to how they used to be, sure. Because let's be real, nobody from the West Coast should be playing on the East Coast in conference games. That is
bingo,
stupid.
Seth. So the XFL with college athletes.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know. Those that don't want to be part of the NCAA anymore, there's your answer. You want the NFL to take over? The NFL is not much better than the NCAA, but sure. I don't know. Would that kill the USFXFL?
Absolutely would.
I think so. I think there would be a conflict of interest there, and I don't think it would ever happen. But it's a nice idea that caught my interest. I wanted to see your guys' take on it. Because, like I said, if you truly want the NCAA to be abolished and you want to start over a whole new leaf, this is one way to do it. Is just have an amateur, a minor league NFL college with college players, minor NFL or whatever. Bring back He Hate Me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That was great. I remember that so well. And he actually went to the NFL and he did decent. He Hate Me did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's just an interesting deal there. We'll touch base a little bit more and dive more deeper in this, but I want to show this. It released either yesterday or today, which is actually the title of the show. But Julian Sayin, a 5+ star, this guy is supposed to be like the messiah of quarterbacks for Alabama, is saying he is entering the transfer portal. Now, I'm just saying, you bring in arguably probably your best bet as a hire with a retiring Nick Saban. And wow. Yeah, he's just saying he ain't playing without Saban.
No,
exactly.
It's more like DeBoer saying, here's the door, put his boot on his butt, and brought in his freshman quarterback from Washington.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's one of the stupidest things I've heard so far.
There's something brewing. We'll get into it a little bit more, but I wanted to share this because it is breaking news. It's happening everywhere. Alabama.
This is my favorite picture of the week.
This absolutely. You should be donating 10% of your salary pre-tax to Yay Alabama. Yes, you heard that correct. Yea, as in, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Yes, we have now had people in Alabama, literally the quote, you can read it. Stop tithing if you need to until we dig our way out. We are in a crisis, all caps. Your church will be fine. If it's not you can join another. Football is religion in Alabama, and it's time to prove it. Wow. I didn't look at how many people responded, but I would hope now here's my overwhelming hope of humanity is there's not enough idiots that decide that this is a good idea. We're going to donate and tithe to the University of Alabama for NIL. Holy mother. Andrew, I know has strong thoughts on this. I have strong thoughts on this. Thank you, Seth. Best be tithing hard and praying to Jesus because Bama's heading off a cliff and the bandwagon will fall apart. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a dialogue for that in a few when we get to it.
Do you? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know Andrew's take on this. I know my stance on this. I know Cody's stance on this. I'm very curious to see how many Alabama fans actually want this to be a thing. And I am praying that it's less than just a handful.
Yeah.
But for this guy or whoever to throw this out there, man, oh man, your church will be fine. Yeah. I mean, yes, technically your church will be fine. But I'm just telling you right now, as a God-fearing man, I ain't robbing God. That ain't happening.
Nope. Make the program get work.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And this one here, I want everybody's thoughts on this. How do you coach in an environment where the players feel like they owe you nothing and you owe them everything?
That is the best quote I have heard to this day on NIL.
Yep.
I have not heard anything better than that.
Nope. Which is why I showed it.
And he's arguably one of the greatest coaches ever of any sport.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yep. That's UConn's head coach, right?
Yeah, Gino Auriemma.
Yep. So I mean, that's a great question. How do you coach in an environment where the players feel like they owe you nothing and you owe them everything?
I mean, for God's sakes, Nick Saban retired. He's not. Yeah. They're not going to say that's the reason, but let's be real. He ain't having fun anymore.
No, we discussed why the reason was.
I mean, how crappy is it that every year you have to build up a recruiting class, and at the end of the year you have to build up another recruiting class, but also have to re-recruit your team and make sure that they're getting what they want, so they stay.
Absurd. Yeah. Exactly. It's extremely absurd.
Like, I understand kids leaving to get a better opportunity because they might be like, hey, I've developed well at this school, but I'm not going to be used properly. I can go somewhere else and showcase my talents. I understand that 100%. Right. But at the end of the day, this whole transfer portal is ridiculous. The fact Caleb Downs, for example, him leaving Bama. I get it. I understand it. But how crazy are all these players leaving Alabama and they're going to these other programs? I mean, let's be real.
Thank you, Kirk. That's right. You only owe the student athletes a college education. # scholarships. Right.
In order to have a successful program in this day and age, outside of money, is you have to get the athlete to believe in the school. Until they believe in the school and truly bleed the colors of their school, that school will never succeed. And right now, this mass exodus at Alabama, which obviously I will get into in a little bit, is a key example of all this. And it is truly a shame. That being said, I love seeing Alabama down as an LSU fan. But at the end of the day, I also feel bad for the school because there wasn't a lot. And, they have key players coming back next year, and they're still going to be a good team. But as a new coach, this sucks.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, this mirrors when he came to LSU. He took over a crap show.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Next year if there is a year for any of these smaller teams to catch Bama finally, this will be it. This will be the closest thing to 2007 as you will see probably in a long time.
Chris, if there was ever a time that Vandy can catch Alabama, and just saying, when
was the last time that you could say Vandy was trending up and Bama was trending down at the same time?
Good question. I have no idea.
Weird.
It is very weird times. Very weird times. Let's let's do this. Let's take a quick break, quick minute break, and we'll be right back on the Golden Boot podcast, only on the Dawgs Sports Media Network. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing in a new roommate to save money? Is that the plan?
But we gotta find some way to save, so say hi to Glenn from work.
Hey, that's my mom.
Yeah, I think I have a much better plan. We switched to my plan from Verizon for just $25 per line.
And that price is guaranteed for 3 years.
All on the network we can count on.
It's a good plan.
It is a good plan. Glenn, looks like we're not gonna be needing you, so I'll see you at work.
Oh, later, Glenn.
Save big with my plan, starting at just $25 when you bring your own phones. Guaranteed for 3 years. It's your Verizon.
Yo, what's going on? This is Jacob Hester, former LSU running back, here to tell you about a brand new college football podcast, the Golden Boot Podcast. Give it a listen, give it a try, give it a follow. They're going to work hard to be your new favorite podcast.
You're listening to the Golden Boot Podcast. Stay golden.
All right. Welcome back to the Golden Boot Podcast. I just want to bring your attention once again down to the banner. If you haven't already, like, follow, share this broadcast with your family, friends. Helps us out a lot. Supports the channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. We always love to see your comments, subscriptions. You can find us on Facebook, the Golden Boot Podcast on our page. You can follow us on TikTok, on Twitter. Golden Podcasts. And TikTok is Golden Media Sports. And then follow us on YouTube, Golden Media Sports Network.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're watching right now, if you don't mind, just click share. Whatever platform you're on,
whatever platform, doesn't matter.
If you're
just
on
share
Twitter,
it once for us.
If you're on Facebook, just share it. Share it to one group. If you share it to your page, that's cool with us. Just give us a share, please. We just want as many people to watch this tonight as possible.
Please, please, please. Without further ado, I think this needs to be shown. We're going to start tonight's Bone Crushers out with this. With Caleb Downs entering the transfer portal, Alabama has now had 25 scholarship players enter the portal this offseason, including running back Rodell Williams, wide receiver Isaiah Bond, who went to Texas, wide receiver Ja'Cory Brooks, Caleb Downs, who just announced he went to Georgia.
He went to Ohio State.
Or Ohio State, my bad. I saw the Georgia
I thought that's where he was.
Yeah, I thought that's where he was going to go to, and then I saw it flipped to Ohio State. And then defensive back Des Ricks,
who went to A&M.
Live look at new Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer. Yeah, Cody, what are your thoughts on this? What the heck is going on in Alabama?
Man, they got a problem.
Yeah.
And, I've never seen a max exodus like this. This is beyond crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, sweetheart. Cool. Take that broom. My daughter's cleaning up right now, apparently. Yeah. So it's weird. As you see on the graphic, got trouble at Bama already. Yes, there is. Don't get me wrong. Kalen DeBoer is a great coach. He is. He clearly proved it by making it to the national championship this year. One thing that has been an issue for DeBoer and that people aren't really talking about is recruiting. He has never been a big-time recruiter. He's never brought in those top classes.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, his Washington classes, he hadn't even hit the top 25 in any of his classes.
No.
Now he's coming to Bama and he's losing all this. How do you replace that? I mean, it's impossible. I don't care how much depth you have on a team.
Right.
There's no way that this team is going to be what they normally are.
I agree.
Now, yes, you got Justice Haynes still for running back. That's perfectly fine. The kid's a stud.
Yeah.
Quarterback situation, I have no idea what's going to happen there. He had Will Rogers commit to him, and now Will Rogers is back in the portal, obviously, because he's not at Washington anymore. And so is he going to bring Will Rogers in? He already brought in his freshman quarterback from Washington and told a very good 5-star quarterback who reclassified, hey, peace. We don't need you. Which, I get it. But then the weird thing to me is the one kid that I thought would hit the portal has not, and that's Ty Simpson. I thought he was gone. Eli Holstein, he's gone. He went to Pitt. So, Milroe, I just don't know how he fits that system. It's like oil and water. Milroe has one style, DeBoer coaches another. That being said, I could see Milroe staying and not hitting the portal because there's a good chance that DeBoer could really develop him into the quarterback he needs to be to get to the next level. Because there's a lot of similarities in Penix and Milroe. There really are.
I agree.
The biggest difference is the fact that Milroe uses his legs more than Penix did. One bad thing, though, is he lost all his wide receivers. All of them.
I know.
And then even if you get some of these kids back in recruiting, it's still going to be hard to put that together.
Yeah.
And it's weird how just a few weeks ago before Saban retired, you're looking at Bama as this team might win the Natty next year. And then obviously you see a team like Ohio State. I'll just do that since we had a comment from an Ohio State fan who was looked at as a team that should be good next year, but just how good will they be? Well, now for some reason everybody wants to play for Ryan Day. Ryan Day. And which I get it. Ohio State's a great program, and who wouldn't want to play at Ohio State? Just to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But it's just ridiculous. And now, but then here's the bigger kicker: what happens if and when Harbaugh decides his future? If he leaves, is Michigan going to have the same issue?
It's a great point.
Now, the big difference in Michigan and Alabama are Alabama gets much higher rated recruits than Michigan, but Michigan still has great players on their team. And obviously everybody go into the, go into the draft. That makes perfect sense. You win a Natty, obviously, hey, you did what you wanted to accomplish in college.
Right.
If you're pros, go pro. I don't think JJ McCarthy is necessarily as ready to go pro as others, but I don't know. Yeah. And like Dylan said, are they ready for this downfall? Because most Alabama fans, like the younger version of Bama fans, they don't know what this is like.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like to be that fan that went through all that phase of the 2000s, or late 90s to 2000s. Like after John Alexander left, Bama struggled big time. And
it's interesting you said that because Josh Pate put it best. Bama fans up until this point have been trust fund babies. They have had it handed to them straight up by a silver spoon on a platter. And now they're going to have to buckle up because it's going to be a lot harder to go undefeated and have these 11-1 seasons and these 10-2 seasons and getting the chance. Like it's going to be tough.
Absolutely.
Because I don't care if you had I don't even know a good example to even bring to the table. I don't care if Bear Bryant was raised from the dead. I honestly think that that's not even a good enough replacement for Nick Saban. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
All right.
But you have to understand what he was able to do the
Absolutely.
past however many seasons he was there.
All right, George, I want to play a game with you real quick.
Let's play a game.
I'm going to tell you team names, and you tell me if Alabama wins or loses, okay?
Okay.
All right, Western Kentucky.
Win.
South Florida.
Win.
At Wisconsin.
Win.
Okay. Georgia.
Lose.
At Vanderbilt. Win. Just say win. You're going to
win.
All right. South Carolina.
Excuse me. Win.
Okay. So right now you have them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-1. Okay. This is where it gets hard. At Tennessee.
Loss.
Okay. Missouri.
Ooh. Loss.
Okay. At
I
LSU.
I don't think Alabama has the talent anymore to beat Missouri.
At LSU.
It depends on how LSU's offense is, but that'll be a toss-up for me.
They'll be fine.
You think? Yeah. Well, I mean, you're the expert.
All right.
You're the LSU expert. So why don't you
about
answer?
LSU that people forget?
Yeah.
LSU's returning their entire offensive line.
It's true.
LSU is returning a chunk of the running backs, a chunk of the receivers. Yes, you lose your top 2 receivers. You lose your quarterback, but you saw Nussmeier is very capable. But anyway, Mercer.
Start over. We'll start over from the beginning because I'm gonna rapid fire this thing.
Okay. Western Kentucky.
Win.
South Florida.
Win.
At Wisconsin.
Win.
Georgia.
Win. Loss. Sorry.
Okay. At Vandy.
Win.
South Carolina.
Win.
At Tennessee.
Loss.
Missouri.
Loss.
At LSU.
Loss.
Mercer.
Win.
At Oklahoma.
Ooh. I'm gonna say they barely beat Oklahoma. Win.
Okay. Auburn.
That's a major toss-up. I don't even like to pick that game. I'm gonna say loss.
Okay. So you have them going 7-5 next year.
Yep.
Now, obviously, Alabama's capable of winning these other games. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But realistically, though, I do not see them winning the big games next year.
No.
I think of those big games they have, of the 5 big games they have, I think they can win 1, maybe 2 of those.
Yeah.
Okay, look, there you go.
He's got them going 8-4.
No, he's got them going 7-5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 5. Okay, I couldn't count letters. My bad.
So
My bad.
that tells. And I think a lot of people see it that way.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Missouri's gonna be awesome.
Charlie, good to see you, my friend. Dude, what is going on with Harbaugh? Is he leveraging the Chargers? We will talk about that here in just a minute because
honestly,
Harbaugh, Schmarbaugh.
Yes, and I really think that is the case, and that is going to be our next segment, 100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. James says they still go to the playoff. Well, it's a 12-team playoff.
Yeah. So,
would a 7-5 team be in a 12-team playoff still?
You will be lucky to get a 2-loss team in the first playoff.
Oof.
And let's be real, the first 2-loss team to hit a playoff will probably be LSU because that's just how it works for some reason. Garrett
Green for the Heisman 2024. West Virginia will be loaded next season. All right, Dylan, I see you. Go Mountaineers.
But no,
Charlie says Harbaugh's making me nervous. Jesus. I assume you're a Michigan fan, or are you a San Diego Charger fan? Who you rooting for here?
Yeah,
he's so smart. He's always a step ahead. Must be Michigan. Got to be. I don't know.
But yeah, Alabama's. I think DeBoer's got a lot of work to do internally before he can really focus externally. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the recruits have been visited like crazy, talked to, and all that good stuff.
Right.
Trying to get them to reassure themselves as, hey, we're staying, because it is crazy to see all these people released from their NLIs as well. So it'll be hard to imagine where some of these kids will end up going.
Uh-huh.
But, their recruiting class is dropping in points big time. So,
yeah,
I think that DeBoer has got – obviously, anyone taking this job after Nick Saban, that's the hardest job in the world to take.
Mm-hmm.
Because, how do you go in and replace someone that was literally the greatest of all time?
Yeah. As somebody once said, I believe it was Chris last week, you don't want to be the guy to follow the legend. You want to be the guy to follow after the guy that follows after the legend.
Yes.
And we see that. Can he have success in Bama? Sure. But what we're seeing right now early, man, it does not.
Do you remember Do you remember what I said initially in the chats about this hire? I said, is he the Alabama version of Brian Harsin?
I do remember you saying that.
And then after I said that, a lot of people started saying it, and I was like, okay, there's something here to this.
Yeah, because I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, the Pac-12 had an off year and a better year than the SEC. I will give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pac-12 is a whole different monster than recruiting in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
When you're recruiting against Kirby Smart, you better bring your A game, and you better bring it quick. And I think he is absolutely finding out real fast. Because I know, like I got this pulled up here. Let me pull this up, see if I can get this. Hang on one second. Right. I don't have it. Oh, well. I was reading where he basically said there was it was from an Alabama site that said, we just want the guys that want to be here. That was Kalen DeBoer's, in a nutshell, what he said. It wasn't quote. Yeah. It wasn't word for word. We just want the guys who want to be here. And I'm like, yeah, but what are you doing to keep the guys there and make them want to be there? Yeah, so, Dylan, I agree there. Alabama was not ready for Saban to retire. No.
Apparently, though, they knew it was coming.
Chargers fan. Okay. All right, Charlie. We just need a serious coach. We need him. Yeah. Auburn would be a good pickup. I think that would be great. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do some statistics with everybody real quick.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Bear Bryant, coaches till 1982. Last national championship, 1979. Yep. After Bear Bryant, Ray Perkins came in. Okay, he was there 83 to 86. He went 48 and 32 in his span there. Okay,
right.
Bill Curry came in after him, went 36 and 26.
Yep.
No national championships. Gene Stallings, 1990 to 1996, went 87 and 62. He got one national championship, 1992. After that, you went from 1997 through the 2006 season, and you had Mike DeBose, Dennis Franchione, Mike Price, who never coached a game, Mike Shula, and Joe Kynes, who was the interim coach after Shula. Okay, there, DeBose went 47 and 24. Franchione went 25 and 17.
Yeah.
Shula went 49 and 10.
Wow.
Kynes went 1 and 0 in the bowl game. Okay, so they went 13 years without a championship after the Bear.
Yep.
They went 17 after Gene Stallings.
Yeah.
Now Nick Saban leaves after going 223 and 195, which is just – oh, wait. Nope. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot.
Oh, okay. Don't speak that on yourself.
All right, sorry. Ray Perkins was 32 and 15, not 48 and 32.
There you go.
I was reading their total games coach. I'm sorry on that.
Okay.
Well, all right, 32 sense. And 15. Bill Curry 26 and 10. Gene Stallings 62 and 25. DuBose was 24 and 23. Franchione 17 and 8. Mike Shula was 10 and 23. Good God, I did not realize his record was that bad.
Yeah, Mike Shula is what everybody is fearing.
Joe Kynes was 0 and 1. Okay. Yeah. Saban went 195 and 28.
Yep.
So from 2007 to now, so essentially 17 seasons, you had 28 losses.
Yeah.
That's less than 2 losses a season. And most of those losses literally came in 07 when they lost 6 games. So he had 22 losses after 07.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is unheard of.
Dominic says, helps prove that Saban is one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan says, if I could bring a sign to College Game Day, it would say, Saban uses 1-ply toilet paper.
I love it. I love
it. Yeah. James says, Alabama fans need to be taken down a notch or two. They expected just to roll on like Alabama. Yeah, I don't know. How long does DeBoer last at Alabama? That's a great question.
I will have a better answer for that after this coming season.
I was just about to say that. You beat me to
the reason I say this because, I mean, as of right now, he's not going to last a year, just the way it looks. But I want to see if he's able to keep the 25 recruiting class together. and obviously add to it, and where that class finishes. But his first real recruiting class will be 2026. Because, I mean, yes, Alabama has a few kids committed already, but it's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
How's the NIL going to work with this new coach? Like, how is DeBoer going to get into it versus Saban? Because, I mean, Saban, he was never big on NIL, but, you know, he had a bunch of business ventures on the side himself. He was for players being compensated. He was not against that. He just didn't like that it was just a free-for-all. But at this point, though, how is DeBoer going to get in and, first of all, gain the respect of all these people with money? I mean, you have to literally say, hey, I've never coached in the South a day in my life. Here, let me bring in this whole new staff.
Colin,
you got to believe in me because it's Alabama. Like that's not a good sales pitch anymore.
No,
because
Colin, just us radio faces here reporting for duty, sir. Go ahead.
I mean, literally, all Nick Saban have to do is just look at you, and you're like, "Here, I'll pay you. What you need? I got you."
Right? Yeah, it's a different deal, and well, and that's exactly what I was just about to say, James. The SEC isn't waiting on Alabama. And not only that, I said it last week. If you watched last week, I said Alabama is not a destination anymore where 4- and 5-star recruits are lining up to sit on the bench for 3 years
for sure.
For their time. You want to know why that dominant performance of however many and just 28 losses is because there was recruiting classes that were 4 and 5 years deep of nothing but 4 and 5 stars. I remember, and we talked about last week, how long has it been since we've seen Alabama put every single one of their starters in on special teams? Every single one of them? It's not happening because they're not there. They're not. They're too valuable to put out there now. Used to, it was okay. One of them gets injured, next man up.
Absolutely.
I got 4 more on the bench. I don't care. Like
now. And another scary statistic, or well, not really a statistic, but a thing to think about is the fact that the coaching in the SEC right now is probably better than it's been in a decade from top to bottom. Especially with the addition of freaking Venables and Sarkisian coming in. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and we'll elaborate more on that as the season goes on. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's move on to a very hot topic in our Bone Crushers tonight. Where does Harbaugh go? Harbaugh Schmarbaugh. Where's he go? I mean, some people have thought he's staying. I mean, there was diehard Michigan fans. You're an idiot if you think he's leaving Michigan. Well, it was rumored a few times. I've seen it float around different news outlets and what have you, that he's asking for immunity. Just in case the NCAA finds any truth in the allegations, that Michigan can't fire him. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, and I'm not a one of those hillbillies that has like a doctorate or anything. I'm what they call I'm from the sticks, but I know a little bit about how things work in the real world. My thing is, if you're asking for immunity, you done something wrong. So if there's any truth to that whatsoever, he's basically admitting guilt.
Absolutely.
So is it going to be the Chargers? Is it going to be the Falcons? Is it going to be some team out of nowhere? Our money has been, as far as college football dogs, as far as this show goes, we are doubling down. I'm doubling down that it's going to be the Chargers. He's been supposedly in LA quite a few times. He does have a second interview lined up with Atlanta. Is he leveraging back and forth between the Falcons and San Diego? Well, San Diego says they'll give me this. What can you give me? Well, okay, I'll think about it and go right back to San Diego and get his numbers. I mean, I don't know.
And it's smart, too, though, to have multiple options because let's be real. You don't put all your eggs in a basket going from NFL. You want to make sure you go to the right fit. You want to make sure that your team has the right players that are going to fit your style.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to buy into what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do the Chargers have that? Probably so with Justin Herbert.
TJ, what's up, Golden Boot?
I've been thinking about this, though.
Yeah.
If he goes to the Falcons,
Uh-huh.
Would that be a move so he can get J.J. McCarthy?
Maybe.
That being
I don't
said,
know.
if I knew I had a chance to go to the NFL and my starting quarterback was going to be Justin Herbert, I would be so freaking elated. Like,
Yep.
I would make sure that I had the best offensive lineman on my team to protect this man at all costs. And honestly, they got a great receiving core. Overall, they got a good team.
The Chargers hold the 5th pick in the NFL draft. 5th overall pick. The Falcons hold, I believe, the 9th. So, I mean, it goes without saying, if he wanted J.J. McCarthy, sure. But I would be shocked if he picks Herbert, or if he picks McCarthy over Justin Herbert.
He says the best he's seen in a while. So
yeah. I don't know.
Realistically, I would think though a cornerback has to be one of the top targets for the Chargers this year. They really need somebody to come in and just help with that. But they also need a good edge rusher. They need an offensive tackle. Joe Alt is probably the perfect pick for them in the draft this year. You can get you a good running back late. And then, tight end wise, I know they're definitely needing a good tight end. And there's quite a few good ones going to be in the draft this year. I think they can hit their positions of need.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm very curious to see what he does.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we'll get to baseball in a minute, Colin. I promise.
Oh, yeah. If he leaves, it would be interesting to see if those kids stay or bail out on Michigan. Yeah, that's kind of our point. Jim is playing the game. He'll be with the Chargers soon enough. TJ's doubling down just like we are. In my best Arnie voice, go Chargers. He gone. Chargers are his best chance of winning early. There you go.
I agree with that. I 100% do.
And I think that's his goal. I don't think he wants to get somewhere where he has to rebuild for 4, 5, 6 years before he's able to do something in the NFL. I think he wants more of a cushion. So, anyway. That being said, by all means.
Okay. All right. Question. If you're watching tonight, would you like to come on the show and give your thoughts on anything we've talked about tonight? Anything at all. I will be more than happy to share the link to our Facebook page. I'll share it right now. And if you want to come on this show and chat with us,
don't be scared.
We will let you on. I don't care who you are. I'm copying the link right now. I can have up to 10 people on this show. We'll probably do it one at a time, but I'm going to add it right now as we speak.
Okay. Well, as he's doing that, let's take a quick break. I'm going to get me something to drink. I just ran out of some water. My throat's getting a little scratchy. Give it just a second. We'll be right back. This is the Golden Boot Podcast, only on the Dawgs Sports Media Network.
listening to the Golden Boot Podcast. Stay golden.
Welcome back to the Golden Boot Podcast. Appreciate you staying with us. We're kind of early tonight, but I ran out of drink. I don't want my throat just drying up on me when we're trying to talk here. Go ahead, Cody. You were going to say something? We can't hear you. Yeah, you're good. His computer likes to do some funky stuff. Can everybody hear me good? Everybody still hear me? I'll be back in a minute. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Every time I leave the page, it happens. I'm getting a MacBook, so it'll be okay.
Right.
Anyway,
Exactly.
So the link is shared to the page on our Facebook page, the Golden Boot Podcast. Be sure to go in there. If you haven't liked the page yet, go ahead and like it. But just click that link. It'll bring you in down here. It may even just put you instantly on the screen. You might be scared. It's all good.
Yep.
Come on here. If you want to chat with us, let us know what you got to share. What are your thoughts?
Just going to have a conversation.
So, yeah.
Not on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know how to share a link on YouTube unless I went in the chat, but it's all good.
No, James
want
is
you to
saying
like
he can hear us, but not on YouTube for some reason. Who knows? Weird. Well, appreciate you checking that out. That's weird. Regardless of that, let's I guess we can go ahead and flash this up on the screen. Baseball is in 1 month.
Man, there's
Less
been
than a
some
month.
craziness happening in baseball today.
Yeah.
There was
there has.
there was a Twitter war today between a good friend of mine, Jim Cross, and Steven Scotch, that works for D1 Baseball, that pitched at Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And that being said, I'm Team Jim on that all the way. I won't go into details about it, but man, was it entertaining to see.
Yeah.
It was about time that Steven got called on this stuff, to be honest.
I agree.
I mean, dude was stealing content ideas from a kid at that. So
right. I agree with that entirely.
If you haven't watched it, watch the Off the Bench podcast. Phenomenal podcast. They interview all college athletes. I mean, it's a who's list of athletes. I mean, and they do all sports. They don't do just baseball, which honestly, I prefer their baseball stuff because I just like hear the story from baseball players. But honestly, though, their stuff they do with gymnastics, basketball, football, everything is fantastic. Yep. I have yet to see a bad interview from these guys.
Right.
And they don't do it for money or anything like that. They do it for fun.
Yeah.
All right. YouTube is good. Awesome.
Before we get in the NFL, let's real quick jump into a little bit of baseball. I want to share something with you guys.
Oh, God.
The Arkansas Razorbacks have the #1 top freshman class in the country. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. Thank you. I'm pretty stoked about it. Thank you. I mean, what can I say? The man is a machine. It's insane how this man recruits.
Now, my question about this ranking is: were they ranking these classes based on the freshmen that'll be used their first year there?
I have no idea.
I think they were, and the reason I say that is because LSU's class on this got moved lower than it should be, because on most media platforms they were #1, and obviously I don't care who's ranked, where they're ranked. I know who we have come down very happy with, but
sure,
I feel like that they're ranking them, based off who will be used and who won't be, because I know that while we have a great freshman class, we also have a lot of people returning, and it's going to be hard to jump in the lineup. Right. Even though one guy that came in as a pitcher is going to be a starting outfielder because his bat's so freaking good. So it's Well, no, shout out to Arkansas. I was actually looking at their roster the other day, and holy crap!
Yeah.
And that blue chip catcher they got, they get his bat consistent. Oh my! That kid's going to have a season on him.
JQ would love to join, but listening with a headphone right now as I'm trying to get my daughter to sleep. Well, I appreciate that. She got a pretty fresh broken arm from gymnastics right now.
Oh.
Well, our thoughts and prayers and full restoration and healing to your little girl's arm. Jesus' name. It's my show. I can say that, right?
Absolutely.
It's our show. We can say that.
Well, at the end of the day, when we talk about it, we always refer to it as our own show.
We do.
But
I don't like saying that because it makes me feel like I'm just like But it's the truth. Each of us own this show equally. It's not 33% between the three of us. It's 100%. All three of us. Like, just how it is. It's my show. It's your show. It's Chris's show. It's our show. Yeah.
So call it your show.
Gun Kansas making moves. I mean, you know.
Okay, I gotta know where
is this reference coming from? I gotta know what this Gun Kansas is. We want to know now because we like it so much that I'm considering making a specialized graphic for this lady. Obviously, I can't put a gun on there, but probably not a good idea.
Kansas.
You know, it is what it is. James says, "Amen." Thank you, brother. So, I mean, that's all you can say. And I know LSU isn't far behind. I know Arkansas is ranked, third in the poll? I think it was. AR. Oh.
I never would have even thought of that.
Never thought of it, Andrew. Wow. Genius. Absolute genius. I
feel really stupid right now, though. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, imagine being from there. Imagine living there for, I don't know, many different times in my life.
Never crossed my mind, though. I mean, I love it. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow.
Man.
That threw me off, Andrew. Good job. That's very good. I'm very excited. That's good. I like it. Wow. Yeah. Laugh it up, buddy. Laugh it up. I didn't even catch that. I lived there, breathed. I've been an Arkansas fan all my life. Never even occurred to me.
I'd like to also add that, we shared the link for people to come on. So by all means, it's there. Please, anybody, come join us. We just want to hear what other people have to think. And it's easier to do it talking. A lot of people, James, he's talking about like an AR-15 gun. So AR, yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I think it'd be fun to have people on because one thing I'm going to try to figure it out on when we move to our new platform here shortly is how to do like a call-in number. So we can have people call in and actually talk to us on the show. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, we're going to look into how to do that. We got to figure it out. I think that would be great. Be the Paul Feinbaum of college football dogs.
I mean, that would be so fun.
Yeah, it would. It would. Anyway,
for a person that hates talking on the phone.
Right. And speaking of college baseball, Dogs will be launching here soon. We got to get some things put together, get some pieces put in place. But if you're interested in following up with that, shoot us a message. Look up on College Football Dogs. There'll be some information about it. We're going to launch it in February and be able to write articles and get all your baseball news and scores and everything else. And we're very excited about that.
Hey,
Charlie, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah. Charlie said if Harbaugh would pick JJ over Herbert, then I don't want him. Yeah.
Yeah, I
agree entirely. I said it with his 66 yards in the championship game. I don't think that's – I know that they ran for 300, but, I mean,
it doesn't matter.
That's not enough to show me that he can be picked over an NFL quarterback.
Now, if he would have ran for like 200 of those, that'd have been one thing, but he didn't. No, I was going to say, if Sarah is watching, I have a request. Could she bring you like a jacket or a blanket?
Oh, I'm good. I got a jacket on.
You look like you're just getting cold again.
Yeah, I am. I'm good. I'm been battling some health deals today. So in Jesus' name, I'm healed. So that's how that works. But I got the heater on here.
Splash the water.
It's like freaking 9 degrees outside, and the garage is right behind me, so that's part of the issue. But
okay, Andrew's comment right here. This is the one thing I'm thinking about. Ritter is good trade bait.
Yeah.
Is this if Harbaugh goes? Do they trade Ritter, get an additional draft pick, and take a couple of first rounders, including JJ McCarthy? It's kind of that's where my brain's going if he goes there.
Yeah. If he would pick the Falcons, that would be why. But remains to be seen there. That being said, I know we're running we're doing pretty good on time.
So we're running.
Yeah. Let's jump into this week on the Gridiron. Let's get into some NFL divisionals. Man, they're going to be so good. Let's do it. All right, and before we get to that, I want to pull up something here. I have it saved. I have to find it real quick. I'm going to read you. If you watch the Dallas Cowboys just flop on national TV to the Packers last week, which most of us did, there was a letter to the letter to the Dallas Cowboys by a fan. I want you to hear what this letter has to say. Dear Cowboys, I do not hope this letter finds you well. I hope it stings, actually, about as much as it stung to watch you fall short in the playoffs once again. The ups and downs are a natural part of sports, but the way the show continues to end up being losers at the end of the season. Every season should be studied. It's really poorly written. If only the goal were to lose, you would be the Goots. Oof. Here I was, an 8-year-old kid, excited because I was about to watch my very first Dallas Cowboy game with my father, full of life and stupid. My dad was in wearing a blue and white jersey and turned on the television. Said, son, come watch the Cowboys game with me. And that was the moment I should have walked away from my dad and never spoke to him again. I didn't. We bonded, and we've shared that bond for over 30 years now. It pains me to know that although my dad claims he loves me, he wanted this for my life. It has been 30 years since the 5-time champion Dallas Cowboys have won a championship. I've never tasted true victory in 30 years. Do y'all know what has been accomplished in 30 years? Let's see. The internet. He is in the Dallas Cowboys. I can't find a win a football game when it matters most. Although you have saved me a lot of money, because there's no way I'm buying a ticket to am forced to attend a Super Bowl game that we're not in. Still hurts when I think about the fact that I have attended at least one game every year for over 10 years, every season with the Dallas Cowboys. Feel like a repeating Linkin Park song because they tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I can't even read this. This decision is not a reflection of any particularly bit of disappointment, but I am foregoing the next season with the Dallas Cowboys and sitting this MFR out. Signed, sincerely, disgruntled Dallas Cowboy fan. And everyone should say until next year. Because he's going to be the first one that says, we them boys, when it first happens. All right, that's enough of that. I had, if you didn't realize, it was a video, and it was a poorly translated video that I was trying to read because I can't show the video on here. Is what it is. You got the gist of it. The fact that he said that I should have turned around and never spoke to my dad again, that's great.
Absolutely.
That's great. All right, let's get into it. The first game on the schedule. Boy, The Lions and the Bucs. Okay. What can be said about these two teams? Number one, the Lions are coming out winning the NFC North for the first time in I don't even know how long. Packers have dominated last many, many seasons. They come in bolstering a pretty stout defense. But man, the Bucs have been on fire. And I don't know if I saw something the other day where it was Baker Mayfield in Cleveland versus Baker Mayfield in Florida. And it looks like two totally different people. Baker Mayfield in Cleveland is a little heavy set with a big old beard and like shaggy hair. Doesn't even look like him. And in Florida, he's all chiseled and he's got his beard and he's wearing like a flowered shirt. Yeah, just a totally different person. And
he's playing the best football of his life right now.
Yeah, right. I mean, he is playing for his life. Absolutely. There's no question about it. So with this one being said, I mean, you got Jared Goff, who has had probably one of the best seasons that he's ever had. I mean, can he finally get the Lions over the hump? Can he? I mean, that's a question. That is a question. They're playing at home, which, if you didn't see, Todd Bowles, the Buccaneers, one of the Buccaneers coaches, was asked if he was preparing the Buccaneers to play in such cold weather, and he said, "You realize we're playing in a dome, right? I mean, we got to get ready in like 12 seconds from the bus to the dome, and that's the only time we'll ever feel the feel the weather. So, weather's not going to be a factor. They're playing in a dome. Man, Baker Mayfield has looked really good, but man, oh man, oh man, boy, does the Lions have a defensive line, and
they do.
The Bucs' offensive line has looked shaky. I'm going to say the Lions win this one by a field goal. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way myself. I really like what I've seen out of the Buccaneers in the last few weeks. But, man, I really like this feel-good story of the Lions, getting that playoff win, finally getting that monkey off their back. I think it's time. Yeah. I think it's really time for them to make a real run. I think Jared Goff, I think he's a quarterback that – I think he's the guy that can really make a team make that solid run. And I think it's his time this year. And I really look forward to the game because it's actually this week of playoffs is some of the best matchups.
I agree.
But I agree. Give me Lions very, very, very close.
Lions in a close one, he says. What do you guys
Baker Mayfield is not the reason they lose.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think that that the Lions can pull this thing out? What do you think? Put in the comments who you picking here, Lions or Bucs. Excuse me. Lions about to hurt Tim Bailey's feelings. Thank you, Andrews. I saw it, but Adeline says no. She doesn't think that the Lions are going to win. We'll see. Lions about to hurt Tim Bailey's feelings. Yeah, Tim Bailey's all about some Baker Mayfield right now.
He's been high on Baker for a long time, though, so I get it. Yeah.
So there you go. 3-point ball game. It would not surprise me if either team wins by a field goal, but I'm going with the Lions. Next one. Let's go with
my favorite matchup of the week.
Yeah, this is going to be one heck of a ball game. Lamar Jackson against C.J. Stroud. C.J. bolsters some of the best rookie numbers I think we've ever seen, especially in a playoff game.
Even if he is dumb as a box of rocks.
I me's pretty remarkable what both of these quarterbacks have done so far. But man, CJ has looked really, really good. The Ravens have some injuries. Mark Andrews will not be playing. And there's some defensive guys that will not be in as well. but it's whose defense is going to clamp down here? That's what I'm saying. Whose defense is going to clamp down?
DeMeco Ryan's defense is.
Yeah. Ravens with the beatdown, 41-13, Andrew says. Wow. There you go. Wow. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but it said, oh no, honey, Buccaneers for sure. Okay, so she was going for the Bucs. I mean, that being said, man, Lamar Jackson, it's so hard to pick against him.
I mean, he's a video game character.
Yeah, I know he has not looked good in the playoffs last few years.
He reminds me of that quarterback Jaden Daniels a lot.
Well, you know, he is a MVP. I mean, Andrew's got it, MVP. I mean, I can't.
Honestly, Lamar Jackson's doing everything that we wanted Michael Vick to do.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I agree with that. I'm taking Baltimore by 7. I don't know what the line is on this one. I'm too lazy to look it up. Somebody wants to look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Man, as much as I want to believe in DeMeco Ryan's, right now the line is Baltimore 9.5 points.
9.5 point favor. I take Baltimore by 7. I don't think it's going to be a blowout necessarily. It wouldn't surprise me. He's got some weapons. He's got some young weapons. CJ Stroud's got some weapons, but it's the defense that's going to make a difference. And Baltimore's defense has been rolling. So
they opened the season up and they played each other.
Yep.
And then the Ravens won 25-9. But the Texans have grown so much in that span.
Yes, they have.
The Texans have won 1, 2, 3, 4 of their last 6, 5 of their last 7. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome for them.
9.5.
I can't. I'm going with the Ravens.
Down.
But I'm going with the Ravens.
Okay. Well, there we go. We're both going for the Ravens. Next one. We might as well do the AFC battle in the North. Mahomes, Allen. This is always a classic battle. The Chiefs have had some issues, but I will say this. I watched their playoff game. I watched their wild card matchup. They look like a Super Bowl team again.
They do.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. There's no way you can say, well, they were leaving gas in the tank. No. But something clicked. Okay, guys, it's time. We need to look like we need to look. They were still dropped passes, which is a concern. But they weren't in crucial moments. So, I don't know. Going to Buffalo is always tough. But it's just what it is.
They played once this year, and the Bills won in Kansas City by a field goal.
Yep, that was early. When KC was. They were rolling, but they were struggling all at the same time.
Well, was it? It wasn't early. It was just a month ago. It was early December.
All right. Well, I stand corrected. I thought they played earlier in the season. I don't have their schedule in front of me. You do.
So I would say. Because, all right, so the Bills are 2.5 point favorites in this game.
Uh-huh.
Screw it. Let's go Josh Allen. Why not?
And Josh Allen and the Bills. I'm going Mahomes. I say, and I'm with Andrew, the Fighting Andes by a field goal, cheeseburger celebration. Mahomes moves on, goes to an AFC championship for how many years in a row? Lord have mercy.
Every year.
Every year. I mean, it's getting crazy. But yeah, I know Buffalo's good, but Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen has some – he looked good last week, but truth be told, I mean, they weren't playing the Chiefs. They weren't playing that defense. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I say Chiefs. I say Mahomes by a field goal. I agree with Andrew. Last but not least, I know I'm going to get raked over the coals for this one. Here we go. Jordan Love, Brock Purdy.
Very nice battle.
Man. Their stats are really similar. Their yards are really similar. Their touchdowns are really similar. And yet, Brock Purdy is an MVP favorite. Jordan Love is not. I know record matters in the NFL, but Jordan Love has had 21 touchdowns and 1 interception in the last 9 games. Guy has been on – his hair has been on fire.
Yes.
Does that change this week? Or does he do what Aaron Rodgers could not? I mean, this team is playing really, really free, and I think that helps them because, honestly, all the pressure was on Aaron Rodgers every single time San Francisco met. Every single time they met the 49ers, all the pressure was on Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
He was expected to win. I mean, it's just, I don't know. What a story that would be. I know, and you know, you look at the stats, you look at the players, you look at all of the weapons they have. Christian McCaffrey, Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel. That's just to name a few. I mean, they have so many weapons. But at the same time, so did Dallas. And
yeah.
I don't know. I can only be hopeful. I don't know. I know. Top to bottom, Packers can't hang. Top to bottom, they shouldn't have hung with Dallas either.
See, here's the thing, though. Aaron Jones ain't been healthy all year. This team has not been healthy all year.
No.
They are healthy now.
They are healthy.
They're young. They're hungry. They care. They want to win. They want it.
Yep.
You know, Jordan Love has played his butt off. I mean, so has Purdy. But at the end of the day, though,
yeah,
what we're seeing out of Green Bay is just unheard of right now. They should not have beat the Cowboys the way they beat the Cowboys. No. And that score ain't even what the real score of that game was. If they would have put their starters start to end, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just, I mean, it was a malicious beatdown.
I've made Cody into a believer.
Oh, I mean, you have.
Look, okay, in all seriousness, I will say this. I will concede. And I will say, on paper, and by all accounts, they should not be able to keep up with the 49ers.
They shouldn't.
I will agree with that 100%. But what if they do? What if they do? I mean, that would be a story of insane. I don't know. Especially since the last 2 years, you've seen the Niners and the Lions in the Packers season.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, though, the 49ers, they are beatable, whether people like to admit it or not. They really are. I mean, they're a great team, but...
Have to win the turnover battle. Have to.
Now, my biggest thing, though, can the Packers contain Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I mean, I said the same thing about can they contain CeeDee Lamb, and that was not an issue.
I honestly think that they're going to line up to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is Christian McCaffrey and Aaron Jones play very similar.
They do.
Aaron Jones plays a lot out of the backfield, so does Christian McCaffrey. He's a matchup nightmare, and so is Aaron Jones. Both of them are really healthy. I don't even know who's injured on the 49ers. I know Jair Alexander is dealing with a shoulder injury. He's questionable after a late hit in the game. I don't remember. It was a tackle, and he went in shoulder first. That's the only injury that I know of. I think there's one more maybe. It was a backup guy. But all the offensive line is healthy. All your starting offensive guys are healthy. I mean, it's going to be a battle. So I don't want to pick this game because I don't want to jinx it. But you know what? I'm going to go. I don't like our kicker, though. Anders Carlson.
I got faith
shaky.
in him.
He's shaky. I'm going to put faith in Jordan Love that he gets it close enough where Anders Carlson can kick a field goal to win it. Oh, that would be just amazing. But it's... Truth be told, I'll say this. If we lose, I will not be unhappy. I won't. We should not be here. We should not, in year one of a rebuild, first-year starting quarterback, be in this position. Ever. Unheard of. I'll be happy. I'll say it's a great season either way. Congrats to the Niners. Hope you win it all. I'll do that.
I think Jair Alexander is going to play. Because he did practice Tuesday, but he didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday.
Veteran rest. They do that.
Yeah,
Matt LaFleur is notorious for doing that. He will rest veterans for days and only have them do one practice or something.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think they're ready.
Well, and something to consider too. Matt LaFleur versus who's San Francisco's head coach? What is his name? Shoot, somebody put in the comments. I'm drawing a blank.
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan, yeah. They were friends in college. They were roommates in college. And Kyle Shanahan has absolutely had LaFleur's number these last few years. But I was talking with Sarah earlier. Was it really LaFleur's number he had, or did he have Aaron Rodgers' number? Because Aaron had a nasty habit of taking a play that LaFleur gave him and automatically audibling out of it and go into a different game plan because it's Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. Well, this has been a great show. Before we go, I do want to, I don't know why I just did that. I do want to real quickly announce that we will be having, once again, a special guest. Coach Hamsley returns to the boot Monday on the 22nd, so this next week. Coach Hamsley, head coach of Roan State Baseball, will be on. It's good to pick his brain. Really good guy. Really good team-oriented coach. If you want to hear good things, this guy is just spewing with it. Positivity, whole 9 yards.
For sure.
Really good guy.
That man loves the job.
Yeah. Can't wait for that. Well, Cody, I think that's all we got. Final thoughts for this evening?
You know, Bama fans, be worried, but believe in your school.
Yeah.
Believe in the board. But ultimately, every team goes through it.
Yep.
You better hope the hire is worth it. As an LSU fan, we went through it with Coach O. He got us a natty. We were ecstatic. The next season, it went to hell in a handbasket.
Right.
And then, thank goodness we got Brian Kelly, because he came in and inherited a team that was way under scholarship numbers. It was just terrible. Finally now, they're back where they need to be on numbers-wise. They actually have more players than normal, which is nice to see. And back-to-back 10-win seasons. So, good things are possible. Don't expect a national championship year one under the board.
Yeah. Golden Boot will look a little different on Monday. Should.
Hope so.
We'll see how that works. We're moving to a new platform. We got to do some figuring and some testing out and trying to figure out stuff. But it'll look a little different. So tune in Monday night, 8:30 Central. We'll recap all these divisionals. We'll know who's going to the NFC and AFC championship by the end of this weekend. Can't believe it's that close. But football is almost over. Almost completely over. Can't believe it. Doesn't feel like it's just yesterday that it was Christmas. And now here we are. That being said, we appreciate you guys jumping in. As always, nothing like having you guys on. We would not be able to do this without you. Stay safe, everybody. And we will see you next time. Stay golden. It's a Golden Boot podcast. We out only on the Dawgs Media Sports Network. Peace out, everybody.